Hello and welcome everybody to another edition of the Jam and Cheese Show. I'm James Graham, joined as always by Brandon Smith and Charlie White joining us.
How are you, Jimmy?
Well. I'm going okay. I feel like that's a loaded question.
Why is that? Why is that coming out of the blocks? Coming out of the blocks.
I was just introducing you. Like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, your beard looks a bit weathered. Your hair's a bit long. You know, you're in that off-season period. That's all right.
Yeah, I do need a shave. I need a haircut. I'm going okay. Look, Charlie, I'm not afraid to admit the old MH has been a bit down. I need the football back.
Yeah.
Just time on my hands is not great.
Well, you know, there's a lot of work at the bar round to be done as well. So if you feel like, you know, doing some work at the bar round, you're always welcome.
You could use that time on your hands to have a shave.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it looks bad, but
yeah, I know,
you got all this time. When you're rushing, you still manage to shave. But
I know, but you know sometimes what it is called Parkinson's law, and you just like I've got things I probably need to do. I've got some things I've got to post to people. Like I've got some things I've got to post to people in England. You know what? I just can't be bothered. You know, you just like I've had pretty much all day. I just can't be bothered.
Postman Jimmy.
You know, just like, and I even drove past the post office today, went in, and then I was like, I don't want to be late for the bar round, so I queued up and then just got back in the car and drove here. Like, but I could have gone way earlier. I wasn't doing anything, but just, I don't know, did you ever get like that?
I do, mate, I do. I'm quite busy at the moment, though, so I'm feeling quite busy already. Yeah. Year started.
I think I do that every day.
Yeah. But if we've got stuff here to do at the bar, you don't want a miserable me being around. I'll drag everyone down.
New studio. We're actually moving studios very soon. So we've got like 2 more weeks in this place. So
2 more weeks here, we're moving, and you and Tony are taking care of all the heavy lifting.
We are, mate. We
all
are.
The credit.
That's right. Yeah, we're gonna get a dartboard in the new studio as well.
Yes,
and every guest that comes through is gonna, you know, do you remember Top Gear? You ever watch Top Gear?
Yeah.
Where they had the leaderboard for the guests and like the time racing around track. We're gonna do 3 darts. Every guest that comes in and have a leaderboard. Fun footy's best dart player.
I like it, Charlie. I like it. We were just saying then, but like, there's a fair bit of news to get into, but 4 weeks away from the season kicking off.
It's actually insane.
I'm really excited for it to kick off. I just want it to come around now. I know we've got these trial games, but they're good at the start, and then when everyone comes on, it's just a mess. I remember when Newcastle started saying, "Oh no, we were using those trial games as like a barometer of performance." It's like, you shouldn't do that. It's just to get
the engine ticking over
to
again.
Get used to that. Yeah, uncontrollable variables, and look, they will add a little bit of excitement, but look, Vegas is where it's all at, and that's 4 weeks away, and then 5 weeks. Roosters take on Broncos on that Thursday night. That's going to be
great game,
an amazing game.
Also, I thought it was interesting. The Roosters are only slight outsiders, but then if you look at the Premiership betting on Ladbrokes, Broncos are now like 3rd Premiership favourites. They're single digit for the Premiership.
Are they?
Yeah, like $8.50.
Maybe for round 1 though, Roosters. It's at Allianz.
It's at Allianz. Yeah.
Yeah. So at Allianz, Broncos will be without Ezra.
Yeah, but you slide Ben Hunt in for Ezra.
So their Premiership is...
Their Premiership, they're like $8.50 to win the Premiership, the Broncos. Yeah, big, like one of the favourites now. I think it's Storm are like $3.85, Panthers $4.50, and then it's the Broncos at the 3rd. Yeah.
Yeah. That is interesting.
That is interesting, yeah.
Like, changing the coach. They've brought in Ben Hunt, but they're losing Ezra for a good 1/3 of the season.
I reckon it's going to go one of 2 ways, Broncos.
The bookies usually know something we don't.
Well, speaking of the bookies as well, not only the Broncos, if you look at Wayne Bennett and the impact he has on the bookies, Dolphins are now like 3rd favourite for the Spoon. They've shortened right in.
Mate.
And the Bunnies are like 6th, 7th Premiership favourite.
Mate, that's
the Wayne Bennett effect in full swing.
You know what? I think Dolphins... I've not even done my ladder thing yet. I think Dolphins are going to play finals.
Oh, right, okay.
I think Dolphins are going to play finals.
Based on
the fact that they've had an injury hit couple of years. They've recruited really well. And I think they can still squeeze more out of their younger players. I don't think we've seen the best in people like Isaiah Katoa. we've not actually seen the best in the hammer yet, despite his brilliance. I know he's got gears in him left to go. I think Jeremy Marshall-King is still getting... He was injured for so much of last year. When you look at Gilbert coming back into the fray.
Yeah, wow.
Like, I think the Dolphins are going places. I really do.
Also, Christian Wolf, like, he's not much is known about him. You obviously have a really good relationship with him. You interviewed him, I think, towards the end of last year, maybe even it was. But, like, even some of the players have been talking about the stands that he sets at training, they feel that they've lifted a level since Wayne left.
It's interesting that those interviews coming out of Redcliffe saying, the standards have increased. I mean, look, you're not going to say the opposite, are you? Yeah, I'll tell you what, things have gone downhill since Wolfie took over. Like, you've got to take these things with a pinch of salt. But I reckon for me, Charlie, like, there's different ways to skin a cat, and Wayne is about relationships. That's what he's about. I don't know if you've been coached, but you've had him at New Zealand or not. But Wayne is very much about relationships, and that, you know, when people talk about, or players that have been coached by Wayne, they talk about like him sitting at the back of the bus. That's to establish connection and relationships with the players. That is Wayne's biggest strength. And I was listening to an interview with Andy Farrell, who's head coach of Ireland Rugby Union, and he goes, 20% of coaching is on-field X's and O's. That's how much he attributes to actually X's and O's. The rest is about managing staff, managing players, managing relationships, making sure that they're all happy and going in the right direction, getting to know the players, working on the relationships, liaising with staff. It's all this that goes into it. Actual hardcore coaching, it's not that much of it, but I know Wolfie, he is big on standards, and maybe if you look at the Dolphins, they were a little loose around the edges, but most importantly, they suffered from injury. I think they'll play finals. And South, for me, they're missing some middles. Like they really are. I find like they're just a couple of middles short at the moment.
The only thing about South you got to remember, though, as well, is Tavita Totola will be back in the middle.
Yeah,
I think Kaloa Matangi's probably going to end up playing in the middle because Ewan Aitken's there.
Yeah.
Maybe Jai Arrow plays on another edge. So Cam Murray's there as well.
Murray's out, though.
Yeah, but for how long? I don't think that's a serious injury.
Like I said this before, when you light on...
When did he do it?
In playing for Australia. When you light on middles and cheese, you can probably speak to this. Like, this is where your 9 is so important. They've got, like, a rookie 9.
Yeah, they don't have many forwards. But, yeah, I think Cam's injury, because I've seen him at Victor Radley's son's first birthday. It's actually, like, a pretty bad one.
Still?
I only know that it's bad because it's a scaphoid. So that I broke my scaphoid bone, but he done a scaphoid ligament.
Right.
And the problem with scaphoids is they've got I only know this because I've done it. They have the lowest blood supply in the body, so they don't heal fast. And mine was 3 months. It was just a broken wrist, but it was 3 months. But his is a ligament, and I'm pretty sure everyone knows that ligaments take longer than bones to heal. Like I I broke my hand before and played like 9 days later almost. And that's just what bones are like. But I'm pretty sure it's a pretty bad one. So I don't think he'll be back for round 1, but he should be back. You know, he should be back at least round 5. But
end of October, you got November, December, January, February. By the time the season starts, it's already 5 months as well.
Still, that said, they're banking on, for me, Totola, Kaloa Matangi,
Arrow.
Ewan Aitken's a gun player as well.
He is, but he's not a middle. He's an edge player.
No, he's an edge player. But that means that Kaloa Matangi probably does get pushed into the middle, I think. And if Murray's out, we'll start the season at lock. I imagine Kaloa Matangi.
Before we get into it, Cheese, how are you? What's the go with the injury? You said you did
I'm back running. I'm back running,
like
boys.
full running.
No,
just
like
straight line.
No, just straight line. But I'm like running fast. You know, I pumped up 85% this 8K. I think 8K is 8 meters per second.
Oh, there's a one's a distance, one's a speed. If you ran 8K, that's a distance.
Yeah, well,
8 meters per second.
I've definitely run over 8K in a day.
Have you?
Yeah. I've run like 4K and then 4K on the Ultra G. But I'm running. I'm running like full. on the thing. I done a Bronco. I got 5 minutes 12 seconds.
Is that so? Just for our listeners that don't know what a Bronco is, that's start on the try line. You run to the 20-meter back, 40-meter back, 60-meter back. Repeat 5 times. That's 1.2 kilometers. And you did, and that's.
It was decent because I can't change direction.
Well, I was going to say, how do you turn?
Yeah, I can turn, but it's
like
not
a battleship.
It's not the turn it used to be. It's a James Graham turn.
Oh, and when fatigue kicks in, you are running. You're not using your techers to turn. It's like battleship. It literally is battleships.
Yeah, it's still awesome though. Like
that's good.
It's been a bloody journey. Like it's just good to be able to run and be able to train. Like I don't do any training with the boys, but I do like the warm up and just being able to get around them. It's a lot less sad. They've Radley calls us the Esky boys because me and Sam Walker pretty much the whole session are just sitting on the Esky boys.
You know what we should do? Sorry to interrupt, but you know what we should do is like we were at what are you running at now? About 85%? Did you say about that?
I could probably get 90%.
What would you be allowed to do? Like 90? Is 90 what you're allowed to try and go?
I think you're allowed to do anything, but they just don't like it.
Because we should see who's quicker, Cheese going through rehab or Jimmy Graham.
I'd smoke Jimmy right now.
On a Bronco.
Yeah.
On a Bronco.
No, not a Bronco.
Or what?
Oh, I thought you meant speed.
Speed, but there's got to be a race though. Like there's got to be a distance.
Well, who's the fastest man in the NRL? Well, maybe me. Over 2K.
Yeah.
Maybe it was.
Yeah.
Like, why are you saying fastest is over 100 meters? Like,
you know,
over 2K.
The fox and the hammer, they'll be gassed. Sometimes it's the tortoise and the hare.
Yeah. How do you go in the Bronco?
I used to go pretty good. Yeah,
I did hear that
pretty good.
You used to win a lot of your club's time trials, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did hear that. Like,
really?
Good on you. Yeah.
I don't want to take one of them.
I was pretty fit.
Those ones are just plotting. That's a plotting test. That's a plot along. That's a plot along test. I mean, it's just how long can you keep that pace?
No, the thing is, this is where I was at a disadvantage because that was the slowest. So those tests, they're designed to like in and around like between like 75 and 8% of your max speed for as long as you possibly can. But my max speed is slower, so I had to go quicker.
Oh yeah, trust me, I'm the same. Those tall people, I'm taking 4 strides to Dom Young's 1. It's not quite fair. And I find the yo-yo test, it's a test where you run, I think it's like 20 meters and back. Mate, you get to like the high levels. That's my maximum. My maximum pace running there and back.
Yeah.
And like, whereas Dom, it's like his 70%.
Jeez, I'm with you. Like the yo-yo test.
The yo-yo test is flawed
because I'm sprinting at level 18 or whatever it was, and the fast guys, it's not their top speed. So like, of course, I'm gonna tap.
Mate, I see people. Because Connor won ours, he got like 21 or something. It was ridiculous. But I'm seeing him run, and I'm like, bro, like that is too fast.
Yeah.
Like, I could never touch the surface at 20.
Yeah.
Like it's like
I couldn't even do level 21 fresh.
Yeah, physically, doing level 21 as the first level would be hard.
In summary, we should have.
You could take it. Yeah.
We're 5:15. I'd be. Did you say you got 5:15?
5:12.
5:12. I'd be pretty disappointed if I didn't beat that.
Okay.
Whoa.
Maybe we can. I don't know if we can organise it.
I've got feelings.
Because I know you're injured.
I've got feelings though.
Yeah, he's injured. I know.
I'm disappointed.
I reckon we put this to the test if we can. You might not be allowed to film that.
I don't think I want to do another Bronco while I'm
we'll take your time.
Mid-preseason.
We'll have to verify the time score. Might have to call Brett Morris, the Roosters coach, stuff and verify because he's going to come in and talk absolute shit.
Yeah, 6:12. 5.
You know, for a minute there, because I did it on the side, so all the boys, I was about 20 meters away, and like you can hear the people yelling the timeout.
Okay.
And because I had my brain shut off, they're just going 1, 2, and for a minute I thought it was 6:12, and then when I finished, I finally looked around. There was still people going. I was like, "Oh, I've actually gone all right." Mate, those tests, I just shut the brain off and just like I dead set look at the ground and just don't think until like the last rep where last 20, 40, 60, and then I just fang it.
Collapse. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
You missed it?
You know what, cheese?
You miss strutting your stuff after your big, slow, fat. I'm fat.
Thanks, mate. Yeah. You know what I miss, cheese? I miss actually caring about that sort of stuff. Like, I miss thinking, I'm going to go into training today and win and care about a Bronco and it being like the most important thing in my life. I miss like being like just hungry to get out there and just compete and like with other blokes that are like obviously your teammates, but you're just pushing each other and actually giving a shit about training hard. Where now I still train, but it's like I'm only training against myself. Like it's no like, you know, you check your watch or whatever and you're like, oh, well done. But like it's not the same.
I think the comp's going to be amazing this year because like by the looks of the training at the moment, like compared to last year, people in the team are so much fitter. Like individuals are so much fitter. Individuals are so much stronger. But then I just think that the whole comp's doing that. Yeah. Like it's not like, oh, Roosters have had this massive turnaround and everyone's fit and everyone's strong. I think like the demands that footy put upon you now, like training's had to go to another level. Everyone's fitter, everyone's faster.
I reckon the professionalism as well has really like gone up a notch. And, you know, I was sort of the back end of that real big drinking era. Like it was a little bit there, but like I feel as if like that is starting to dwindle out. Certainly not to the extent that it was, because you if you don't, someone else will, and they'll overtake you. And for as much as like those half hungover sessions, and you'd push yourself and you'd be like, look, I don't want to let my mates down. Like, it's almost like everyone's gone past that now.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
there's people you can beat, but there's other people that are just going to destroy you.
Yeah, and there's people that are literally like living, breathing, like it is. Like I feel it's everything now. It's so full on and so intense.
Yeah, I feel like the NRL has done a good job with like the development contracts and like all the people that are sitting outside the top 30 that are just like they haven't done anything in the game, but they want to do something. Yeah. And they're young and they're hungry, and then they've ended up from the bottom up almost. Yeah, they're pushing like
that's driving standards from the bottom up, and I think, you know, the days of you know, your days off in pre-season or like your rest days or your recovery days used to start with like a like one of those. It's like now it is literally like, oh God, no, I'm cooked here. For me to compete next week, I've got to get rested and recovered.
Do you reckon that's why we're seeing more dynasties in like world sport as a whole then? Because of that professionalism? Like the elite teams are able to stay elite for longer because they're looking after themselves, and that's why you see like Kansas City now is going for their third straight Super Bowl. Like Penrith have just won 4 straight comps, and they're like the same teams are able to stay elite for longer. I wonder if there's something in that.
You could be right there, Charlie. Like maybe for certain people, the penny drops quicker, and from teams or star players from yesteryear, maybe the penny wasn't as quick, or that maybe even with like social media and that desire to be relevant and be like the top dog, it is more prominent in this era. Like if you look at Mahomes, you look at Cleary, like they'd want to be top dog because it means it. Maybe it meant the same back in like early 2000s, the 90s, the 80s, but there wasn't the same level of fanfare. And maybe that drives that want to be great. And I know you think back to eras like when Parramatta won, but most sporting competitions have done their best to equalise that.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's interesting.
I think you're onto something, because I think like people, like for example, Melbourne and Penrith, like people that go to those clubs get better. You know what I mean? Like people that go to those clubs, and I feel like you go to a club like Penrith and Melbourne, and like if you're not ultimate professional, you're kind of a black sheep. Yeah. And you're kind of like, and then you don't last too long at those clubs if you're like that, and you get pushed out. But you're a player that's half good or like reasonably good, and you go there, and then your professionalism kicks to another level, and then you become a better player than when you were there, like when you weren't there. So I think you're understanding. You ever look at the Kansas City Chiefs, all their wide receivers are pretty much bums, like, and then they just end up. Well, they do have Patrick Mahomes throwing the ball, but they just must be going to another level and just being around that environment. So
Storm is the interesting one this year as well.
Yeah.
Because I think they should be more premiership favourites than they are. Bring in your Toi Kamanu. Nelson was getting back to his best towards the end of last year. Then he got suspended for the grand final, but
Munster was injured for a lot
of it. I mean, you've always got issues with Pappenhausen on and off off, but playing on the field and they're missing games. And I don't know. I think the way they're set up, they're gonna improve, and Penrith they should decrease a little bit. I think Penrith are probably the clear front runners.
Melbourne, you mean?
Melbourne. Yeah,
I'm with you on that. And Penrith lose their home ground advantage as well. Like how much? Like that's a horrible place to play Penrith Park. That noise. It's not the best changing room in the world for the opposition, and it's got that old school, real grit. It's either baking hot or it's pretty cold. By Australian standards.
I remember in 2021. We lost against Penrith in the preliminary. And I remember 3 days later, I was going through my messages on Instagram and Bam Bam Tuivasa had sent me a voice recording and it was just... I was like, can't say anything back. He'll knock me out.
Their record at home, though, at Penrith Park since this dynasty, this run started in 2020, 45 wins, 7 losses.
Yeah, wow. And how many? It'd be interesting to know how many of those came in Origin.
Yeah,
well, do you know what I mean? You got to factor some of those in.
Yeah, because I went through the draw and because they play a couple of games at Bathurst.
Did you just say win? I went through the draw. I think you did.
No, I might have done, yeah. I looked at their draw and they obviously play a couple of games at Bathurst. We had that year where they had a few games at Suncorp because everyone the comp went during COVID. But yeah, they are unbeatable.
Yeah. To be fair, what's their record away from Penrith?
Pretty good. It's pretty good, but it's not 45-7, but it's pretty good.
I'm pretty sure Jerome Luai's win rate's 90%.
Yeah, insane.
Yeah.
That's going to change very quickly.
Which is absolutely stupid. Didn't he get a leg injury or something?
Potential quad injury, but it's not that serious. Okay. So he'll be back for round 1. But yeah, no, that's massive. But yeah, the Storm, I don't know, mate, I just think that not many teams are going to be able to compete with him. Then you look at a guy like Fa'alongo there as a utility. Their pack's unbelievable. Josh King's a great forward.
They've got depth in key positions.
Josh King, unsung hero.
So
it's crazy that they just managed to fit him in.
Pezzett and Fa'alongo, that's back up in key positions.
Yeah.
So
second best hooker in the game, Harry Grant. And then
behind Rex Robson.
Yeah, no, they're good. They're a gun team. What else have we got to talk about today? And Dylan Brown as well, boys. So it's come out. I think you've also got to take.
He's a ballsy man.
He's a ballsy man, or his agent's a ballsy man. You got to take this with a grain of salt as well, because this is his manager just pushing Dylan Brown, trying to get the best possible deal for him. But the asking price is allegedly $1.2 million a season for Dylan Brown.
Someone would, I imagine, with 2 new teams coming into the competition on the horizon, someone's going to pay 1.2.
No.
Yeah. I'm telling you now, Charlie, there's how old is Dylan Brown? 24, 25?
Something like that I'll put up.
Yeah, so you can make a strong case that his best years are ahead of him. Is he the complete product yet? Absolutely not. But in terms of what is he on at Para 900, for him to leave Parramatta, he's obviously going to, unless he goes to a club that's right at the top, maybe he'd stay in and around 9. But to go to a club that's in a similar position as Parramatta or even behind Parramatta, arguably, you go, well, I'm only going to leave if the financial incentive is there.
He's 24, turned 25. 1.2 million though is that's your premier player. If Dylan Brown, yeah, it is. If Dylan Brown's your number 1 paid player, can you win a competition? Can you compete in finals? Because Moses was out for most of last year and Dylan Brown was the Eels' best player and they competed for a wooden spoon.
Yeah,
Tino's on 1.2.
Yeah,
he doesn't play 80 minutes.
But
would you argue?
All right, well, where do you think the Titans are going to go from? He's back this year, missed all of last year, basically. Are you thinking the Titans are going to improve dramatically?
I think they'd improve dramatically with Dylan Brown.
With Tino, what what Tino brings with that 1.2 though is a stack of leadership.
Yeah.
Like you got performance, but then you've got, we're talking about organizations and the standards and the culture. Like Tino brings that in.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying he's not worth like around that money, but what I'm saying is like it's similar. Like he's like Dylan Brown can grow into like that player. What if he's on that 1.2? Tino wasn't that player before he had that.
With Brown, that's his asking price. If he got to that, it would be a huge all-in play by a club to make him the marquee man. But maybe we'll see it.
But also, which club are you talking about? Because you talk about the teams coming in. Papua New Guinea's not till 27. They're coming in.
I know, but Charlie, teams now are starting to hit that. Not panic button's the incorrect phrase, but they're starting to try and get their ducks in a row because it's going to be a feeding frenzy of players. Like these new clubs are going to be throwing ridiculous cash at marquee.
But this is for 26. This is what we're talking about.
26. For 26. And what years after 26?
27.
When one of those new teams come in.
Yeah.
So people are making moves to shore up their talent now because one of the clubs interested in Dylan Brown is the Dolphins, right? And the Dolphins have got a bit of a war chest, right? We know that they missed out on Ben Hunt. They've got a bit of a war chest happening there. But they're going, hang on, if we don't use this war chest like now,
what's going to be available?
Someone's got a bigger war chest than us. And any other team like that has money to play with is starting to think far out. If we need to land, let's use it in 26, trickle that on to 27, 28, 29, and then that person is out of the comp. And we've not got to worry about that war chest. So that's another club's worry. Teams are in that planning phase now of what seems like an overspend now on today's market will in 2 years' time seem like, geez, that was a bargain.
Yeah, as long as the TV,
so in my opinion,
as long as the salary cap keeps going up as well, because we have the TV rights still. Just you don't know what's happening in this media world at the moment.
We're gonna talk about that in a bit, but just on Dylan Brown, again, I do get bored. I've been thinking about Parramatta, and like this season that was last year, like their issues with defensive, but they've added to their attack. With Fox coming in and Lomax coming in. They had more points. So will Para's style be, let's get everybody on board, let's just defend all right. Like have a bit of a dig in defence and we'll just fucking score more points than everyone else.
Yeah, but I feel like the defence of Josh Adokar is a good winger defender.
Yeah, but he's a better scorer than he is.
Yeah, but like I think most tries are scored out wide. You'd think that he's going to affect the defensive line.
And Lomax is a strong defender as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I just wonder if they'll go with.
But they could. They're definitely attackers, but I feel like they're going to add something a little bit of value to the defensive edge.
But what might tip Para the other way is if Brown goes, I'm leaving, especially early, and then that flow-on effect of Penasini, and then instantaneously all eyes go to Mitch Moses, who's got an option in 26 for 27.
Yeah.
When we talk about that feeding frenzy happening, the domino effect. Like, it's going to be.
Also, one thing I have to say is managers are acting on their best interest. Like, of course, a manager's going to go out there and toss up a fucking stupid number to like a lot of clubs and say that's probably not what Dylan Brown's thinking. He's not thinking, hey, tell my manager I'm going to ask for 1.2 million. That's just your manager going, how much money can I make off Dylan Brown? And if I can make 1.2 million, it's gonna benefit Dylan Brown. It's gonna more benefit me, and I'm gonna make nearly $100,000 a year off one player I own. So I feel like Dylan Brown, I know him personally as a friend, and I just don't think that he's telling his manager, hey, I want 1.2 million.
Nah, but what his manager does do because he's done this is he does put pressure on Dylan Brown by doing this. Like,
yes.
But also at the same time, if Dylan Brown was say to his manager, if he gets him an extra, say, $800,000 over 4 years, he'll say, man, I couldn't give a fuck that you gave you that extra pressure. It is what it is. Thanks for the money. Crack on.
But also, in a lot of negotiations, there's an overreach from the manager.
Yeah, and then you meet in the middle.
Well, there's a great book where they say, like, don't meet in the middle in the art of negotiation. But with these negotiations, it usually happens that way. And
the manager asks for 1.2, he might get 1.
Yeah. You know the team that's been linked with Dylan Brown, I mean, always, they were linked with everyone, but the Roosters is the team that is linked with Dylan Brown properly. And like Sam Walker and Dylan Brown as a combination, like, that would be amazing. They obviously can't fit everyone in, but the Roosters are a team that has a war chest as well. I just don't know if 1.2 million is what you pay Dylan Brown.
No, I don't think
Depends on the club. Depends on the club.
Because
I think a club can definitely pick him up for that, but I don't think the manager's ultimate goal is to get 1.2.
No.
I think it's toss up a stupid number. A club goes, we're not going to give you this, but we'll give you this, which is closer to 1.2.
Yeah. So Luai, he signed for
But he's going to play halfback. Yeah, so he's not a 5'8" anymore. He's playing half. I don't think he can play a 5'8". Dylan Brown's an out 5'8".
Yeah.
You can't normally pay.
I was going to say, Luai got around 1.2, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, I would not pay. I'd pay Luai more than Dylan Brown, if that makes sense. If we're doing that pecking order of influences on a game, on the 80 minutes, on the club, on the harass. So from what I don't know, because I've not seen Luai or Brown in action. This is only an observation or an educated guess. Yeah. I'm going more to Dylan, more to Luai.
You got to remember with Dylan Brown is he's been playing with Mitchell Moses as well. It'd be one of the best jobs to have as any 5'8" in the competition, playing alongside Mitch Moses. Like, you got to think about that. And also the thing with the Eels that's a big issue for them is their middles as well. Like losing Regan Campbell-Gillard, Junior Barlow getting older. Like they don't have as much punch that they used to have. Ryan Madison isn't necessarily the same player he was a couple of years ago.
They don't. One of the signs I really do like is Jack Williams from the Sharks. I've watched him on a number of occasions, been so impressed. He does a lot of that tidy work. But when you've got the attack that they've got, Parramatta, I think they were one of the competition's leading offloaders last year. And they were one of the competitions, like, they did well for points. They just couldn't defend. Like, that was Para's issue last year, is their inability to defend. And maybe with this improved attack, get Jack Williams to do a lot of dirty work and a lot of clean-up work, it might just be okay. But in terms of, we talk about atmosphere in the group, culture, they need Brown to get his future sorted. They can't have this linger on for too long.
Yeah. Oh, no, sorry. I was thinking about something completely different. I was thinking about the Sharks.
Yeah.
I feel like they're flying a bit under the radar, the old Sharkies. Adam Fanua-Blake's going there. Because you said Jack Williams, that's why.
Yeah.
That's why I bring it up. Adam Fanua-Blake looks fit.
Apparently Nico Hines has got his swagger back as well.
He's got his swagger back.
I mean, Adam Fanua-Blake looks massive. That's like... No, I could have said that for the past 8 years.
No, like trim.
But he is massive.
Yeah, he's looking ripped. I mean, he had a singlet on the other day.
Yeah, I saw the picture.
Yeah, you seen that?
Looking good. My legs.
It'd be interesting to see how the Sharks go.
Yeah, I think they'll do well. But I don't think they need some origin players or some rep players. Like Adam Fanua-Blake's one of them, but you look at that team, Ronaldo Militao is another rep player. I think the record or the stat is you need like 4.5 origin players to win a competition. And if they've only got, say, 2 rep players, maybe they're lacking a little bit of talent.
Yeah, potentially.
A team that is also...
Cam McInnes?
Yeah, but he's not an origin player anymore. Do you reckon he's going to get picked origin this year?
Probably not.
Nico Hines, probably not. But we'll see. The Bunnies as well want to come to Allianz Stadium, get the Roosters home, unless a core stadium has some work put into it.
They basically put it on the government, haven't they? Rugby union. I mean, I don't know. I'd be actually interested what Souths fans actually want.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Do they actually want to play at Allianz?
Some people should let us know in the comments message, where do you actually want your team? Because the Shane Richardson used to always come out when he was CEO and be like, all our fans, there's got so many fans out west. We got
that's where they.
But is that true?
Yeah, we're like.
I think Redfern's a lot closer to Allianz.
Yeah,
cool.
But Redfern is. But if you look at where, like, what's the spread of South Sydney's?
Mate, have you been to Surrey Hills lately? Every fucking shop has a bloody bunnies.
Yeah, Maroubra the same. Those bunnies just stuff everywhere.
Just everywhere.
Like, surely it makes more sense being Allianz. Also, we've got to have like.
That'll be disgusting, bro. How can you have Roosters and Rabbitohs playing at the same game?
Roosters would blow up the looks.
Yeah, but they just got to cop it. They just got to cop at the Roosters and get on with it. The Roosters blow up about everything. we got to treat
for that stadium.
The government pay for the stadium. It's a government build. And the other
why do the Roosters claim ownership of it?
Because it's in their heartland. It's in Paddington, near Bondi.
Mate, it's ours. Right on the east.
But also the Rabbitohs don't need to train there. They've got their own facility in Heffron Park, which is quite funny. I saw this. You can rent the Rabbitohs Centre of Excellence for your events. So you can go online and book the Heffron Park and like host your corporate events there and stuff, which was bizarre, I thought. But anyway.
Why is it bizarre?
Because it's like, how bad is a footy club going if they have to lease out their facilities to corporate?
Mate, I'm pretty sure...
Everyone does that?
I'm pretty sure everyone does that. Right. Melbourne definitely do that. Yeah. And we definitely do that as well. Mate, there's that many corporate events at the play.
Yeah, there you go.
Mate, the amount of random people we have walking through the
thing. You know what Warrington Wolves did in the Super League?
Yeah.
They do like a warm weather training camp. Like, obviously people with plenty of cash could buy the experience to go on the warm weather training camp, attend all sessions, like all meetings. I'm being serious.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Right, that's
good for corporate partners, though.
I know, but if I'm St Helens or Wigan or
sending a troop in,
I'm going, mate, like undercover, double agent.
Yeah.
Like just, Sammy B, I'm a big Warrington fan. Like, yeah. Go get a fake Warrington tattoo. Oh,
little like pocket camera there.
Yeah.
Just take your notepad and write it all.
Yeah, just pretending to get drunk every night. Just 0%. I'm dead sloppy. I won't remember this. Like, tell me more. Like, go back and just like, this is what Warrington going to do this year. But
can you go on the piss up with them?
I mean, I don't know if they had a drink, but
I'm sure they did.
Warm with a drink, surely.
Warm with a training camp was, my that was one of my first instructions to playing first team, being involved in the first team. I went, we went to Portugal.
That would suck.
Oh mate, it was like this specially designed facility, and speaking about like how cultures have changed. So I think I started training in November, warm with a training camp in January, pack me bags for Portugal. And I'm thinking like, it's going to be like so professional. I'm like 2 or 3 months in. And one of the lads there, Nick Fozzard, first night, like he's not sneaking out. He's just in the main like reception bar. He had 8 pints. And like, and then I'm a bit like, oh my God. Like, he's like, oh no, like I'm like, this is like half a holiday for me. Like I'm having 8 pints every night. And to be fair, like he ripped in and trained the next day.
Specific number.
He was like, no, 8 pints.
That's it, boys. I'm done for the night.
Literally just having knock off beers. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Didn't he say that to the coaches while he was on holiday? And he goes,
this was another time we went to a different place in Spain, and we had a couple more nights. We had a decent couple of nights out, and Foz, as he gets on the bus to go to the airport, he's like, oh, this has been the best holiday I have ever had. Seriously, right? I'm not even joking. I have had such a good time. And Daniel Hansen turns around, he's like, you fucking Foz!
Is that the Daniel Anderson?
Yeah, he was our coach then.
The Daniel Anderson.
Sorry to get sidetracked then for a second though, but back to the core stadium. That should be like Wembley Stadium. Like we only play Origin Grand Final there because for those 80,000 seat games, it's unbelievable. For South v the Tigers or South v, it's so tough to go. As a fan, it's a horrible experience. There's like 5,000 people. There's no atmosphere. As
Mate, I reckon these Tigers games, Luai effect is going to be in full. I think they're going to be packed.
Yeah, they will be. They'll be a lot better this year for sure. But like that
the thing is like a club like the Bulldogs now and what they did last year, they've got to really tap into that because the atmosphere that was starting to generate at a core stadium is a bit of a like. As a fan or as a member, you start to go. It's great product on TV, but it's like, oh, look at what they're doing. I want to be a part of that.
Yeah, but they were getting like 30,000, 35.
So where do the Dogs play?
Well, the Dogs, no, but I don't mind. Yeah, it's a good.
So
Well, to be honest, mate, I'd love the Dogs played at Belmore, but I know financially they can't do that. Like, I think Belmore Oval would be way better. Have you been the game? The atmosphere at Belmore is 10 times better than the atmosphere at Core, even with 40,000 people.
You're locking out fans, and also you're missing out on revenue, like which you just as a.
No, I get that, and I get it's cheaper. It's cheaper to have like. You make more money basically having like 10 people at a core stadium than you do a full Belmore. Something like that, isn't it?
I think it's actually, it costs the football club to play games at Belmore.
Which is a shame.
As opposed to,
crazy.
A fan could not walk through the door. He could play at an empty stadium and they'd make money.
What about Combank for the Bulldogs?
Yeah, but
it's geographically not in the right spot.
I know. Yeah,
it's a great spot, Combank.
It is. Combank's a great footy stadium.
Great venue.
Yeah.
Slot.
Either way. Either way.
Indeed.
That's probably. Do we want to do the TV right stuff?
Yeah,
you can chat about it.
Yeah, if that's.
So
actually, you know what? We've not done Molo.
Yeah,
we forgot about Molo. I did say to you on the
Molo.
Yeah. So Francis Molo is basically not turned up for training.
Well, he's not coming back. He's won the lotto.
And they've got Gula in from Canberra. But I don't know, it's a hard one, this, because you've
just
got one end of the spectrum.
Sorry to interrupt. Just before you get into it, I'll tell you the full story of it, though. So Francis Molo, you know his brother Michael Molo plays for the Dragons as well.
Which is
bizarre. So the two of them drove to training together. And then Michael Molo went to, I think Francis said to Shane, can I speak to you for a second, mate? Went and had a chat with Shane Flanagan and basically said, I don't want to play for the club anymore. I'm going. And then he left, didn't do the training session, but Michael Molo trained. And then when the training session finished, he's like, Francis gave me a lift home. How do I get home from here? So he had to call someone in his family to come and pick him up and stuff, because Francis didn't tell Michael that he was going to quit the club. So Michael had no idea it was happening. So he was completely blindsided by it.
Just get it. Thanks, bro.
Thanks, bro. But sorry to interrupt.
No, I was just going to say, you've got two opposite ends of the spectrum. You've got Terrell May, who gets tapped and said he's no longer wanted, and we know the impact of that. And then you got Molo that goes in and says, I don't want to play here anymore. I think Dragons fans have every right to be disappointed. I can't say I agree with the player doing that, but I understand it happens, and it is disappointing. It will be really disappointing for Dragons fans. He's a top quality player, Molo.
He's on big money though as well. So there's two ways looking at it. You get him off the books as well. Maybe you can use that to get someone else.
You know they've got Gula,
they got Gula, but Molo's still on the Dragons books at the moment.
Yeah, be interesting to see who, because it's not been rumoured who he's linked with, which is strange. Normally,
does he just not want to play anymore?
No, I think he doesn't. He's not going to give up. But it is interesting. But no, the rights deal. It's a
smooth transition, that one. Smooth transition.
I reckon this is a great time for rugby league, because I think with all this competition coming in now for the rights, it's going to drive innovation for the product. I think the fans are going to get a much better experience because everybody is competing with each other now. There's more competition, and I think the NRL are in such a powerful position because there are so many competing networks that want the game, where it's not just going to be about the money. It's going to be, what can you provide our fan? And you think about, the game has become a business. So if an Amazon, for instance, come in and stream our games, or they're the service provider that hosts NRL games, you can imagine you watching it and it's like, do you want to buy merchandise for your club and get it shipped the next day. Like, imagine that as a fan experience.
But it's not going to happen. Why is Amazon going to come in for Australian TV sports rights? It's not going to happen. Talk about Netflix, and Netflix is getting like things like the NFL, a Logan Paul boxing fight, like these big events. Yeah. We're too small.
What's that? What's the Zone?
The Zone's bought Foxtel.
So why wouldn't they do it?
So they're going to be So the Zone are now the owners of Foxtel, so they're going to be the ones trying to keep it on KO, keep it on Foxtel, and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. But Amazon and Netflix, I just can't see them coming in.
What does Stan do like rugby?
Stan does rugby because it's probably a cheap thing to cover, and then they get that international sport. Yeah, I know. But then they probably are banking on like having the Wallabies, and the Australian World Cup's not far off as well. Like that would be a big thing. Like that, and they're trying to create the Stan sport as a thing that can compete with KO, because right now KO's got, you would say, the better rights. Yeah. I just
so you don't think?
I just don't think we're worth it. I think we're too small a market. There's like 20 million people in Australia. Why would
not?
Well, yeah, there's about 25 million people, something like that. We're a tiny country. NRL
big country, but not many people.
Not many people. Yeah. I just can't see that Amazon and the Netflix of the world. Amazon's gone after cricket, an international sport with huge audiences in India and all these different places. Like for Netflix to get their head around a sport that, you know, it's rugby league. It's played in such a small part of the world.
No, I do get that.
But then they'd still want to. One of the great things about sport is it draws attention, it draws eyeballs, and there will be people working at companies like Amazon going, how do we crack the Australian market? There will be people that are incentivized.
Yeah,
you know, obviously all places.
I think Amazon's cracked the whole world market.
They're not as big over here as they are in like the UK
I just mean that's Amazon Prime we're talking about, right? I think Amazon's well established.
But compare, like, they've got room for growth here.
Yeah, and that's where they're probably like cricket's big in Australia. That's our growth opportunity there for sport. Whereas like rugby league and AFL, I think they just say they're too focused in Australia to drive, because also they want to use these games and play them in other parts of the world as well. Yeah. Like, and it just, I don't think it has the cut through. Do you know what the NRL needs to do? Is they should try and match what the AFL got from Foxtel, but also free to air TV. Like that is the heartblood of rugby league as well. Because, like, really, at the end of the day, rugby league's a working class sport. You need to have rugby league accessible for free. Especially with the cost of living crisis. Like, that's the thing that's going to drive rugby league's growth, is having maybe more games on free to air TV.
Yeah, maybe. Be interesting to see what Volandis is working in the background. Did you see his interview where he wants Trump at the
I saw that
at the game in Vegas, and AI as well? Like, I'm excited to see how our game's going to look from like a fan point of view.
Yeah.
Jesus, the AI is getting crazy, man. AI is getting hella crazy.
A mate of mine's uploaded every single one of his emails into ChatGPT and has created like a digital double that replies to emails, but he has to like approve the emails. So they'll do the. So they write the thing, and then he goes into his drafts, and if he likes it, he sends it off, and he might make a few change and stuff. So he's like not replying to emails now, basically.
That's a bit. I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
Well, I don't know.
You're not really taking it on board, are you?
No.
Like, you're not.
What I made with AI.
Oh my God!
Can you show that to the camera as well? Please show that to the camera.
Oh my
Can
Lord!
You show that to the camera, please.
Can the camera see that?
Yeah, the camera will be able to see that.
Wait there. Oh!
So if you're listening, you want to pull up the YouTube, go towards the end of the show. Cheese has got a video of Trent Robinson and Jared Rea-Hargraves sharing a kiss.
I got Matt Butcher and...
you know what? You could take that so much further.
I know. It's ridiculous. And that's like the free version of the app. Like, you can get the ones where you can set prompts where it's like using tongue and stuff.
I mean... If they did that in real life, that's good on them. But
the Trent one's funny, but mate, you have to.
Hopefully that's not on Volandis' to-do list to make videos like that, and the viewer experience is enhanced. But wow,
that's what I mean. This AI is crazy.
It's crazy.
It's getting to the point where, like, if you get caught playing up on, like, I'm not saying.
You can blame AI.
You can blame AI.
Yeah, we're safe. The world's safe.
It's just a photo as well. Like, it doesn't need to be a video. You can just literally upload a photo and then they're going to kiss.
So just back on your mate.
yeah.
So he's uploaded all his responses.
He's
And
uploaded every single email he's ever done.
So it gets a
digital double. So it gets a mindset of like your.
Yeah, so this is what you stereotypically
even
would
if you
respond.
if you normally spell a certain word incorrectly, the AI copies you and it spells it incorrectly. Like it's mirroring.
Well, that's
you.
not good, is it?
No, yeah, but like but that's kind of good because it makes it seem real and authentic. Is what they're thinking.
Yeah, we're just gonna be living in such a phony world. It's
100%. I'm not gonna I'm sure AI could help my life in many ways, but I'm not gonna engage with it just yet.
Mate, every single like company that sells, well, pretty much every new company is like Shopify.
Yeah.
And then every one of their terms and conditions is all just made by AI. Like all chat GPT, just write me up a terms and conditions. It's ridiculous.
Like you can make songs now. Like there's going to be artists that like.
I'll play you some after this. I listen to them all the time.
Yeah, that
it's
are like
ridiculous.
AI, that are crazy. Even podcasts. So they reckon there's a world where you can, in podcasting, where basically it's going to become so good, you can be like, I want to hear about 1940 trains to 1950. Like you can be as specific as a topic as you want, and they'll have two engaging
Charlie,
hosts
let me tell
doing
you,
it.
Nobody out there, when you're getting to play with this new machine, is going that far. I've been really. Can I just get two people just chat to me about 1940s trains, please? I reckon AI goes.
You're a loser.
Yeah.
Here's how to make friends on YouTube.
There's some more interesting subjects. 1960s trains. Well, actually, just on that, it's a great place to finish the show. But we have got something that you want to put to us, hey Charlie. But also, our listeners, was this podcast actually done by the real Charlie White, James Graham, and Brandon Smith, or was this just AI? Making my beard a bit longer to make it real, a little bit of a longer hair.
Or are we all real anyway? Are we all just robots anyway? Are we
is
even
this
real?
an illusion? Did she actually
Are
run
we in a
515?
simulation?
Did she actually run a 515 Bronco?
Why is he adding 3 seconds every time?
Did AI think that's about where Brandon Smith will be after? Like they've seen you on the field. They've gone, oh yeah, 5:12, whatever.
But I was.
See, that's the mistake that they'd know I'd made. That I would put that 3 extra seconds on, make everyone think, yeah, that must be them. But we're getting lazy here at the
did
bar.
Charlie and James kiss? We don't know.
I did spend some time on Google Trends earlier as well, speaking like AI technology.
AI to do it? All right.
No, I did because you actually, and I've found the top 5 most Googled rugby league players for the last 12 months. And the list is going to surprise you, I think, but I want you to sort of take turns guessing, and we'll try and put together the 5 most Googled players in the last 12 months. Nathan Cleary, number 2. Reece Walsh, number 1.
Ezra Mam.
He was number 6.
Oh.
Cameron Munster?
No.
Ooh.
Surprisingly, not that Googled Cameron Munster.
At least I got 6.
They've got to be
Current players.
Current players.
2 roosters and a bunny to go.
Dom Young.
No.
Jared Weir-Hargreaves?
No.
12 miles.
Oh, Joey Manu.
No.
Tedesco.
No.
No, Swali, sorry.
No.
Sam Walker.
Yes, he was number 5.
Wow.
I think when they get injured and stuff like that happens, you end up getting a lot more searches. But there's another one as well from the Roosters.
It wouldn't be the guy that had the injury guy.
Yeah, it might be the other injury guy. The hectic cheese, Brandon Smith, the 3rd most Googled rugby league player in the last 12 months.
That's all me. That's all me.
And then number 4, a bunny.
Cam Murray.
Nah. Pretty obvious
Latrell
one.
Mitchell.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Well done. Well done.
Wasn't really that.
What, was he number 4?
He was number 4, yeah.
Late as Latrell.
Yeah. And mate, you weren't far off Cleary as well. Like you're like neck and neck with Cleary.
I think it's my missus. Every weekend I go out, she just searches, is he got in trouble this time?
You're searching Papua New Guinea as well. Very searching Papua New Guinea, Brandon Smith.
Am I?
Yeah. People love you there, brother.
Oh, you can see where people are searching.
Yeah, it gives you the
from.
countries. But I mean, to be fair, Papua New Guinea was the most searched country in all of the players. But still.
Very searched in Papua New Guinea.
Yeah. You could be a star there, mate. You should go over there, visit them.
Oh, I think I might be. Secretly.
We can just get an AI version of you, pay you for your intellectual property, and away we go. Happy days.
Happy days.
Imagine
All
that.
right, well, Good chat, lads. I enjoyed that.
I actually did enjoy it too because I feel like really good about myself now.
Yeah, you were very good. Maybe Charlie's just trying to pump your tyres up. I reckon that's BS. You've got to check that out.
To be fair, it could be to do with
Who
the
was
buy
number one?
round as
KP?
well. No, KP wasn't in the top 5, which I thought was crazy.
Well, who was number one?
Number 1 was Reece Walsh.
Oh, Reece Walsh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which doesn't surprise me, Reece Walsh. You know.
Yeah.
Maybe we could replace Cheese with Reece Walsh because what are we doing in the buy? We need to grow. Like we got the third most Googled footy player alongside us. We probably need Reece Walsh number 1.
Just fly him in.
Fly him in, yeah.
Sorry, Cheese. We're just breaking this news to you right now. We're only joking.
That's crazy.
He's still caught up in that number 3. He's like, Mum, guess what?
I'm thinking about calling the guy I'm going to P&G with and say, mate, did you know I'm fucking world famous at P&G?
The price just doubled.
Oh, my price just doubled.
Oh dear. Right, on that bombshell. Thanks for listening, everybody. Charlie, Cheese. Catch you.